All right, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro back there in the Philippines, no? And of course, wherever you may be, maaring good morning, good afternoon, or good evening pa rin sa inyong lahat, no? I hope you are or you are all safe, no? I know na meron ngayon bagyo dyan sa Pilipinas, so please stay safe and of course, please stay dry. And I hope that you still continue trying to learn with us. Now, this is our live stream discussion of our 20-item professional education that you have just answered through your quizzes link that was, of course, posted on our Facebook page. You can find us on YouTube as Gurong Pinoy, also, of course, on Facebook as Gurong Pinoy. And you can also see the rest of our social media accounts on your screen right now. All right. Now, again, this is a 20-item that you have answered through our quizzes link now through our quizzes live. But of course, before we start with anything else, I'll start with our opening prayer. This still has been prepared for us by Brother Efren Esteban. So of course, please join me in our opening prayer po.
Manalangin po tayo. Lord God, naniniwala kami na kasama ka namin sa bawat sandali. Salamat na ikaw ang aming Diyos, ang aming dakilang pastol at makapangyarihang hari. Panginoon, tulungan mo po kami na magawa namin ng buo naming kaya ang aming mga gawain sa bawat araw, lalo na po sa aming mga paghahanda sa aming pagsusulit. Pagpalain mo po nawa ang bawat isa sa amin na narito. Lord, humihingi po muli kami ng patnubay para po sa aming gawain sa oras na ito. Ito po ang aming mga kahilingan sa kataas-taasang pangalan ni Jesus na aming Panginoon at manunubos. Amen.
Amen. Right now, again, all these materials here would all go straight to our Gurong Pinoy teams. Of course, we have our team gardener, no, sa mga parokyano natin, sa mga veterano. This is your team gardener. This was our old GROW or Gurong Pinoy Review online work group. And so all these materials that I'm using now for our discussion and also, of course, your pre-qualifying test for your or pre-qualifying examination for ProfEd will be posted right after this live stream. So abangan nyo po yan. And of course, we have our new team, our team Erickson, which is for our newbies, no? Sa mga bagito natin, sa mga bago nating members, you'll all be added to our team Erickson. And of course, we still have one reserve team once we have already saturated our team Erickson. Ililipat na natin yung mga bagong teammates natin sa team Piaget, no? Sa mga kaguro natin na magjo-join pa lamang sa ating teams, make sure that you send a message to our Facebook page and then of course you will be added to your teams. Just follow the instructions there, no? Mag-send lamang po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page, and of course you can all be added to our teams and you can see all the materials that we have in the different teams that we have in Gurong Pinoy. Now, of course, enrollment is still ongoing for our LET September 2021 LET program. You may pay through Palawan, Cebuana ML. There's also PayPal, there's Gumroad, there's Metro Bank. You may also even pay through Super Chat, Super Sticker during our live streams on YouTube. Okay, now the basic membership that's for Team Erickson is only 1,250. Our pro membership, that's your majorship or pro membership. Now for our major, we offer six majorship programs. There's English, social science, there's math, there's bio. We also have Filipino and MAPE. Okay, so all those majors that I have discussed, that I have just mentioned, we have our majorship programs for them. Okay, so what we do is we have your Google Classroom and we post your sets in your Google Classroom by Saturday, and of course Sundays we have your video discussions. We also have premium membership, that's Gen Ed, ProfEd, which is of course Team Erickson, plus your majorship. Okay, so again, these are the basic membership, pro membership, and premium membership that we have. But the good news is that we still have the 50% off until this moment. Now, until now, we still have 50% off. So that means if you'd like to join Team Erickson, that's only going to be 625. Pro membership, that's your major, that's only going to be 1,250. Then of course, for premium membership, that's all in one. There's Janet, ProfEd, and of course your major, that would only be 1,250. Okay, I repeat, basic membership is 625, pro membership is 750. Then of course your premium membership is 1,250. So again, just make sure that you send a message to your Facebook page, through our official Facebook page, Gurong Pinoy, and so that you can easily just join the different teams that we have, the majors that we have. All right. Now, we also have our supporters. Supporters, this is an exclusive group of people who support Gurong Pinoy. And of course, your supporters are going to have their exclusive meetings. The first meeting that we are going to have will be by next Saturday. That's 5:30 p.m. PH time. And we are going to be talking about ICT integration in our curriculum, or your technological integration matrix. Okay, so again, for our supporters, thank you so much for supporting Gurong Pinoy. And of course, we'll see you by 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, okay? That's next Saturday. That's PH time, 5:30 p.m. for our ICT integration. Uh-huh. Okay, but of course, tonight, our main goal is to, of course, discuss your 20-item na ProfEd. This still is from your pre-qualifying exam. And of course, a pre-qualifying exam I will be sharing to our different teams after this live stream, okay? So once again, please go ahead and like this video. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and like this video. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, make sure that you've reacted to this video. You start a watch party. Okay, tag your friends maybe. And of course, so that we can easily still reach out to more people, we can also help them pass the LEP. Okay, go ahead. So we can start with our review. Again, please go ahead and like this video. For our team YouTube, mag-like na po kayo sa ating video, and of course sa ating team Facebook. Go ahead and share our video, start a watch party, tag your friends, and we are going to start in a few minutes. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Ingat po kayo. And of course, stay safe, no? Malakas na yata yung ulan dyan ngayon sa Pilipinas. O, ayan. Sabi ni Ma'am Edna Ballesteros, di ako nakapag-quiz. Walang kuryente the whole day. Okay? Ingat po kayo. Alright? Again, go ahead. Like this video. Heart this video. Wow this video. Of course, start a watch party. Tag your friends. Good evening, Ma'am Sheila Gitalan, our supporter. Welcome back po. And of course, if you are watching us on YouTube, go ahead and please do like this video. Ma'am Lizelle Bolivar Libuon, also one of our supporters. Good evening po. Okay, we start with question number 1. Number 1, according to Bruner, a teacher working with young children should, letter A, push the children to maximum cognitive development as rapidly as possible. Letter B, present all information verbally so the children will listen well. Letter C, present new material from the concrete to the abstract. Or letter D, present new information from the abstract to the concrete. What's your answer for number 1? Ma'am Joy Dairit, maraming salamat po sa inyong maagang pakape. Now, of course, Ma'am Joy is also one of our supporters. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 1? What is the answer for question number 1? This is according to Jerome Bruner, and we have discussed this last night. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Mendaros Esor, for tagging all of your friends. What do you think is the correct answer for number 1? We've talked about this last live stream, no, kahapon po lamang. Okay, now a lot of you here on YouTube are answering letter D. Ma'am Maris Del Campo, maraming salamat po for your paayuda, no, Ma'am Maris, thank you po. Okay, the rest of you, dito sa ating team Facebook, maraming sumasagot ng letter C. Okay, so letter C sa Facebook, yung ating team YouTube ay letter D. Sino kaya yung tama? Okay, so again, going back to the topic that we have here, according to Bruner, a teacher working with young children should, letter A, push the children to maximum cognitive development as rapidly as possible. Okay, so wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa, no? As rapidly as possible, dapat malaman niya ang mga kung anong bagay man gusto mong ituro sa kanya, no? Maximum cognitive development. Letter B, present all information verbally. Okay, now letter C and D, they are opposites. C started with concrete, going to the abstract, while your letter D started with your abstract, going to the concrete. Okay, so ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Now, yesterday we've talked about enactive, iconic, and symbolic. Okay, the different levels according to Bruner's cognitive development, yung modes of learning ng students. And in here, of course, sabi ng Team Facebook, it's letter C, and that is the correct answer. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer for number 1. Okay, so letter C po, tama yung ating karamihan sa Team Facebook, no? Letter C is the correct answer. We start with the concrete going to the abstract. Okay, napunta natin yung ating next slide. We talked about this yesterday. We said, according to Jerome Bruner, the learning modes are enactive, iconic, and symbolic. So whenever you say enactive, your child here is learning through movement or through action. Okay, so the child here is learning using concrete objects. Okay, so you have your manipulatives, you have your puzzles, you have your book here, and then your iconic, the learning is through images or icons. Okay, so here the people or the students, the kids are looking at the pictures. Okay, so learning through the pictures, learning through words, learning through the different images or icons. That's iconic. And of course, symbolic, there is the learning through abstract symbols. Okay, so when you say you are teaching the child verbally, that is already going to be part of your symbolic. Okay, so pag verbal, pag research, no, reading for research, that's already symbolic. Okay, so this is the highest level now of learning according to Jerome Bruner. So again, don't forget enactive, from concrete to abstract, iconic, no, and then of course symbolic. So again, we start from concrete going to the abstract. So again, letter C is the correct answer for the question that we have here. Okay, unang-una ba ligwak na, or unang-una tama? All right, now we go to number 2. What principle of intelligence states that a student seeking information will tend to use the most convenient search method in the least exacting mode available? Is it letter A, principle of least effort? Letter B, principle of extinction? Letter C, principle of discrimination? Or letter D, principle of mindset? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Ma'am Erich Apostol, thank you for the unicorn. Maraming salamat po. Again, people who are watching us with Team YouTube, go ahead and please like this video. Mag-like na po ng video natin. Okay, and of course, please do react to this video. Start a watch party. Tag your friends if you're watching us on Facebook. Maraming salamat sa ating mga top fans sa Facebook. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have Ma'am Junive Moralde, top fan, Ma'am Mabel Del Mundo. We have Ma'am Charlene Anladao, Sir Richard Angeles, yung mga top fan natin to. Sir Nakayama Isuke. Ma'am Angel Indonto Ampo. Ma'am RV Joy Tulod, maraming salamat po. Ma'am Ipumea Mercy. Okay, what's your answer for number 2? Ma'am Mary Chris Mayandok Tamundong, Ma'am Alma Orteza. Thank you to our top fans and of course to our supporters. Ma'am Jeneline Abuel Alejandria, good evening po. Thank you, Ma'am Sohaila Dimakaling, for the watch party. Ma'am Bev Cabalfin or Gabalfin, our top fan. Thank you. Ma'am Eileen Magno Cabrera Camahort, top fan. Okay, now number 2 again. What principle of intelligence states that a student seeking information will tend to use the most convenient search method in the least exacting mode available? Is it letter A, principle of least effort? Letter B, principle of extinction? Letter C, principle of discrimination? Or letter D, principle of mindset? The correct answer, of course, would be letter A, that's principle of least effort. Sabi dito the student seeking information will tend to use the most convenient search method. Okay, so as humans, of course, it is very natural for us. It is innate for us to always try to do the easiest, no? Gusto mo lagi yung mas madali, okay? Papahirapan pa ba yung sarili mo? Of course, we'd always want to do what is the easiest, no? That is natural naman as humans, okay? So here, letter A, principle of least effort is the correct answer, not principle of extinction. We've talked about this yesterday, not mindset, okay? Mindset, of course, it would be your readiness. And of course, discrimination, we've also talked about this yesterday. These are parts of the classical conditioning theory by Pavlov. Okay, but here, again, letter A ang tamang sagot for number 2. Okay, so that's letter A for number 2. Now, we go to number 3. With reference to Jung's psychological theory, a shy student who prefers to be alone falls under which classification? Is it letter A, extrovert, letter B, paranoid, letter C, introvert, or letter D, ambivert? Okay, sometimes it's also pronounced as Jung's. Carl Jung. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 3? Team Facebook, what do you think? And Team YouTube, what do you think is the correct answer? Mom Honey Ra on YouTube, is looking for gift certificates. Okay, go ahead and offer your gift certificates to Mom Honey. So karamihan letter C ang sagot dito sa ating Team YouTube. Team Facebook, what is your answer? Again, go ahead and please do like our video, Team YouTube. Ma'am Samarenyang Waray on Team YouTube. Ma'am, nakapag-send na po ako ng nabili kong gift certificate sa Gurong Pinoy. Waiting na lang po ako sa confirmation. Okay, so we hope someone would already confirm Ma'am Samarenyang Waray's membership, no? Sir Migs, if you're watching and if you can do it now, please do confirm the membership. Alright, now dito sa ating Team Facebook, ganun din, no? Letter C din, Ma'am Malayha Agaw Uto. It's also letter C. Sir Kiner Kier, sabi niya blurred, no? Sir, you have to change the settings of the video settings po dito sa Facebook. Okay, so i-click niyo po yung 3 dots sa taas, sir, and change video quality is 720p niyo po. Okay, so if it's blurred, then make sure that you change the video setting. Ganon din sa ating YouTube. Okay, the correct answer here, of course, would be letter C. That's introvert. Okay, so these are people who'd always try to be alone, no? Even if you give them some group work, for example, you give your students group work, they'd ask, can I do it alone? Okay, these are people who'd want to always be by themselves. They don't want to mingle with other people, no? Sometimes we also meet people who are extrovert. Yung extrovert naman, these are people who are out there, no? Yung very sociable, no? Very social nating mga friends, no? These are the life of the party, no? The belle of the ball, no? So sila yung palagi ang leader, no, center of attention sa ating mga parties. These are people who love socializing with other people. Paranoid mo naman, of course, this is the extreme na of being introvert. Yung feeling mo lahat ng tao is after you, no? Lahat ng tao tinitingnan ka, may gagawing masama sa'yo. That's paranoid. And then, of course, you have ambivert. Ito naman is nasa gitna ng extrovert and introvert. Okay, I would think that I am, what do you think of yourself? Are you an extrovert? Are you paranoid? Are you an introvert? Or are you letter D, an ambivert? Okay, what do you think is your personality, no, as according to Jung's psychological theory? Are you an extrovert? Are you a paranoid person? Are you an introvert or ambivert ka kaya? Okay, so again, yung extrovert mo, letter A, that is a very sociable person, no? Yung gusto niya palagi may kasama. Letter B, paranoid naman, ito yung extreme ng inyong introvert, no? Feeling niya lahat ng tao against sa kanya. Introvert naman, of course, this is a type of person who always want to be alone. And of course, ambivert is in the middle, okay? So sometimes this person can be an extrovert, other times this person is nagiging introvert din naman. Now again, Sir Kobe Oinoj, Again, pag blurry po, just click the three dots, no? Doon sa itaas, no? Sa yung may nakalagay, Guro Pinoy is live now, tapos may three dots. I-click nyo po yan, and of course, i-change nyo po yung video settings natin. Okay, introvert, sabi ni Ma'am RV Joy, she's an introvert. Dati extrovert ako, pero parang naging ambivert na ako, sabi ni Ma'am Angel. Ampo, paranoid, Ma'am Chufil. Introvert, Ma'am Tin, parang hindi ka panipaniwala yan. Okay, ambivert. Okay, so karamihan dito, introvert tapos ambivert, no? In my case, I think I'm an ambivert too. Okay, so sometimes you can be an extrovert, but sometimes there are some time na gusto mo na you will be alone, no? Sometimes ayaw mong pumunta sa party, tinatamad ka, no? There are some cases na tinatamad ka mag-socialize. Gusto mo nasa corner ka lang or pupunta ka ng party pero hindi ka makikipag-usap sa maraming tao, no? So, most of us, I think, is an ambivert. Okay? Wow, introvert talaga sa personal, Ma'am Tin. Okay, so again, letter C, number 3, letter C po ang tamang sagot dito. Karamihan ambivert. Okay, now we go to number 4. Which type of guidance service is concerned with putting students into their most appropriate courses? Is it letter A, information service, letter B, individual inventory service, letter C, research service, or letter D, placement service? Okay, so mahilig talagang mag-isa. Ito si Ma'am Edita Hervasio, introvert. Sir Roger Abalos is an extrovert. Okay, ambivert, Ma'am Marquilis Tamundong. First timer, hello po, Ma'am Menchu Kanasa Pangilinan. Welcome to Team Facebook. Okay, introvert. Aba, grabe si Ma'am Rufaida Romel. I'm introvert from now on. Okay, so simula ngayon, introvert na si Ma'am. Okay, now number 4 here. Some people have started answering letter D. Okay, dito sa ating Team YouTube, letter D din, yung kanilang sagot. And of course, this is letter D, okay? This is placement, okay? You guide the students so that they can take the most appropriate course for them, no? Yung hindi naman po pwedeng maging teacher, of course, hindi mo i-guide, no? Hindi mo ipupush, hindi mo i-encourage na maging teacher. Pag alam mo na magaling siya sa math, for example, magaling siya mag-drawing, no? And so you need to guide the student into whatever appropriate course he or she should take. No, usually fourth year natin dati, no, fourth year or maybe right now grade 10, gina-guide na sila, no, kung anong gusto nilang maging strand, no. For K to 12 now, meron ng mga ginagawang service para malaman ng mga bata kung ano yung gusto nilang strand, kung ano yung mas appropriate na strand sa kanila, no, pagdating nila ng grades 11, grade 12. No? Dati, fourth year ka, pinapasagot ka ng parang questionnaire, no? Para kung ano yung apt sa'yo na magiging mas magandang employment sa'yo. And of course, that is going to guide you as to how you are going to choose the most appropriate course for you. No? Now, we have to remember that it's not only the guidance counselor who does guidance, okay, to the kids. Hindi lamang po yung guidance counselor dapat yung nag-guide, no? Kahit tayong mga guro, dapat nagiging guidance counselor na din. Okay, so that's letter D. Placement service, not information service. Of course, when you say information, you are giving out information. And ito ay kalakip din ng research service, no? So you research, you find out information, and of course, the letter A mo, information service, dito po, gini-give out mo na, dinidisseminate mo na yung inyong information. Individual inventory service naman, of course, as a guidance counselor, for example, we have files for each student, no? Especially if a student has a lot of problems, a lot of things are going on in the student's life, then you need to really have an inventory of that certain type of individual. Okay, so again, the correct answer would be letter D for number 4. Ma'am Samarenyang Waray, message po kayo sa messenger ng Gurong Pinoy. Need po muna ng info nyo. Thanks po. Okay, so Ma'am Samarenyang Waray, make sure that you send a message through our Facebook page. All right, now we go to number 5. Okay, number 5, human development follows a pattern. Which of the following demonstrates this theory? Is it letter A? In a geography class, children learn the different provinces ahead of their own town. Letter B, Petra names Sampaguita, Roses, and Kamya before learning the word flower. Letter C, in mathematics, Learners know division ahead of addition. Or is letter D, a child learns the word animals before he can name dog, cat, cow, goat, and cow. Okay, so what do you think is the correct answer for number 5? Number 5, ano po ang tamang sagot? Ayan na naman si Sir Jervy Bukala, meron ding mga pahugot. Sabi niya kanina sa number 4, D, nadapa. Capitalize yung letter D sa nadapa. Good evening, Ma'am Lloyda Quiapo. Habol po tayo. Okay, now most of you are answering letter D. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot, no? Ma'am Loyalyn Dakipel. Good evening po, our top fan. Okay, so again, most of you here are answering letter D on Team YouTube. Ma'am Emeline Galito, Hermitanio Mascardo, maraming salamat for sharing our video. And for starting a watch party, Sir, our Ma'am MJ Mupada, our top fan. Good evening po. Okay, of course, the correct answer here would be letter D. Tama yan, no? Sabi dito ng inyong question, human development follows a pattern. Which of the following demonstrates this theory? What is a pattern in human development? Of course, we always start from the concrete, going to the abstract. We always start with the simple, going to the most complicated, no? So that is according to our development. We always start with the simple, going to the more complicated, the concrete going to the abstract. And of course here, this is the correct answer. Now you start with the word animals first before you learn dog, cat, goat, cow, etc. You already learn different types of animals. Okay, so you don't teach the children the different provinces ahead of their town. You'd always start with their own town, no? Letter B, you always start with the word flower before you go and name different types of flower. And of course, letter C, you don't start with division ahead of addition, no? We'd always start with the simple, okay? The simplest going to the most complicated. So again, letter D is the correct answer for this question here. Tumpak, sabi ni Sir Jesse Sai. Okay, so again, that is letter D for number 5. Now we go to number 6. A mathematics teacher following Gagne's theory of learning believes that letter A, learning can take place under all conditions. Letter B, learning is only a matter of accurate discrimination. Letter C, learning takes place only when the student is in a receptive state. Or letter D, learning is reinforced chiefly by classical conditioning. Okay, what is the correct answer for number 6? Number 6, mga kaguro, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Ma'am Heidi Sumandal, Team Facebook. Again, guys, gift certificate is still available. Aba, parang love life ko lang. Ang complicated. Ma'am Jovelyn Damaso. Bakit po naging complicated, ma'am? Again, if you'd want to become a supporter of Gurong Pinoy, and dyan po, no, if you open the chat box sa ating Facebook Live, no, there is a button for your support. Okay, so malapit po siya sa comment. Yan pong green na may heart at may chevron na icon. That is our support button. Okay, so if you can support, then please do support Gurong Pinoy. And of course, you are going to be receiving exclusive content every month, no? At meron tayong meeting. Okay, which one is the correct answer for number 6? A lot of you here on Team Facebook is answering letter C. Ganon din sa ating Team YouTube, may pailan-ilang letter D, pero karamihan ay letter C ang sagot. Okay, of course, the correct answer here would be letter C. Okay, so letter C po ang tamang sagot dito. This is Gagne's theory of learning, and he believes that learning takes place only when the student is in a receptive state. Okay, let's take a look at your slide kung bakit letter C ang ating tamang sagot. Okay, these are the 9 events of instruction according to Robert Gagne, no? So pinakauna, sabi ni Gagne, una-una muna dapat i-gain mo yung attention ng student. Okay? Kaya ito yung ating sagot, no? Receptive state, dapat yung bata ready nang mag-receive ng information, and of course, ready na ding mag-respond to your information. No? That's the reason why we'd always start with your motivation in your classroom before you even start with anything, no, any part of your lesson. Before you start with your presentation, you'd always start with your motivation. And of course, we need to remember that your motivation, the lecture, the class motivation should always be connected with your lesson. Dapat konektado siya sa lesson, dapat coherent sila. So again, you'd always start with gaining the attention of the students. You start with your motivation, or sometimes even without the motivation. When I was still teaching in Ateneo, we were doing this. So we have what we call the silencing period. No? So meron kong tinatawag na silencing muna. It is one way for us to gain the attention of the students. It is one way for the students to become ready for the class. So what do we do during the silencing period? No, yung pagpasok mo, hindi ka magsasalita ka agad, no? And you just stay quiet. You just stay at one corner, stay quiet, okay? And then of course, once the teacher becomes quiet, the students now would try to give attention to the teacher. Ala, ayan na, tahimik na si ma'am. And so the students would get hints from this. The students would also try to tone down. No, they get toned down. They also tend to be calm. No, they calm down. And of course, eventually, all the noise inside the room dies. Okay, so all the noise would die out. And of course, you can already start with your opening prayer. No, kasi sa Ateneo, syempre, Christian. No? It's a Catholic school. It's a Jesuit, the Filipino Chinese school. And of course, we always start with the silencing period. Then you start with your prayer. We also end with a prayer. No? So again, it's very important that you always start by gaining the attention of your students. Okay, you should always gain the attention of your students. So silence muna. No, they should be ready to learn. They should be motivated to learn. So again, this is also the reason why we have motivation as part of our instruction. Okay, so again, motivation. Then of course, the learners are going to be informed of the objectives of the day. Bakit? Dahil sila po yung kailangang mag-reach ng target na yan, no? Sila po yung dapat na mag-reach ng or mag-hit ng objectives. And so they should be aware of what they're doing within the class period para whatever activities they're doing is going to be it's going to be targeted to that certain objectives. Now, it's going to be their guide so that they can hit your objectives. And of course, prior learning, according to Gagne, it's going to be gauged. So sometimes you can use KWL, or sometimes you can post, for example, your topic is photosynthesis. You can post the term photosynthesis. What do you know about this topic? Now, what is photosynthesis? What is your prior knowledge? What is your experience about certain things? Then, of course, you present your content. Okay, so presentation na to. You give your lecture. Then, of course, you also provide guidance. So by providing guidance, what you do here, of course, is you give some examples. Okay, so you give some examples. For example, if you are talking about speed, okay, speed is distance over time, distance is speed times time, and so on. You give certain sample problems. No? So mag-give ka ng sample problems. And then, of course, you explain how you solve it. And of course, you also have the practice. So practice na, ito na yung classwork na tinatawag. No? So classwork na to ng estudyante. And then you give or you provide feedback. You check their work. Again, remember that feedback should be given right after the activity. No? So hindi po pwedeng yung feedback for a certain test ay binigay mo after 1 month. Okay? So after 2 months. Dapat mabilis yung feedback. Okay? So again, feedback, this is under operant conditioning ni B.F. Skinner. And of course, you assess the performance of the students, no? You check kung ilang estudyante yung mga nakapasa, ilan yung nakahit ng objectives, at ilan yung hindi pa. And so, you enhance retention and you transfer to the job. This is already application. This is already beyond the classroom. But here, going back to your assessment of performance, you try to gauge whether you should reteach, babalikan mo ba yung objective na to, or you should already move ahead. You should already proceed. No? So again, these are the 9 events of instruction according to Gagne. So again, letter C is the correct answer. Your students should be in their receptive state before you start with anything else. Always start with your students' attention. Okay, the attention of your students should already be given to you. Okay, so dapat na attentive na ang inyong estudyante. All right, so again, that would be letter C for this question here. We go to number 7. RA. Okay, the Republic Act, which lengthens the school calendar from 200 days to not more than 220 days to take effect in the school year 1995-1996 is letter A, RA 7797, letter B, RA 7743, letter C, RA 7798, or letter D, RA 7784. What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 7? Sir Javier Credo. Good evening po, Ma'am Mek and my classmates. Ang lamig dito sa Bicol. Tiwi Albay. Okay, malamig daw. Again, Team YouTube, paki-like na po ng ating video. Some of you still have not liked our video. Go ahead and please do like our video. And of course, the more people we have who like this video, the better would be the performance of this video. Okay, a lot of you are here answering letter A. Ganun din sa ating team Facebook, no? Letter A din yung sagot. Ma'am Amy Gahom, thank you po for sharing our video. And of course, the correct answer will be letter A. Okay, so letter A po to, 7797. What about the rest of the RAs that we have here? 7743 is the establishment of congressional, city, and municipal libraries and barangay reading centers. Okay, so this is all about library, yung inyong RA 7743, no? Most of the time, hindi ginagamit yung mga library natin. Meron tayong mga city libraries, may mga municipal libraries tayo, may congressional libraries, and of course, there's also barangay reading centers, no? Yung congressional, hindi ko nakikita yung congressional library namin. But I know there's a city library, and meron ding municipal library. Sa barangay, I'm not sure if there's also a reading center in my own barangay, no? But of course, you need to know that this is because of RA 7743, no? Kalimitan kasi yung mga lumang gusali yung ginagamit sa mga libraries na to, no? Tapos madilim, hindi naman maganda yung mga libro, no? So sometimes hindi ka na pumupunta. In other countries dito sa Amerika, magaganda yung mga libraries nila, no? So ma-entice ka talagang pumunta sa library, kunwari dito sa amin, no, sa Sumter, meron library talaga na pwede mong puntahan, magaganda yung mga libro, pwede kang gumamit ng computer, no, sa atin wala, no. So usually pangit yung building sa atin ng city libraries, yung mga madidilim na buildings, no, yung mga hindi na ginagamit na buildings. 7798 mo, this is the amending section 25 of Batas Pambansa Bilang 232. Okay, so this is part of your BP 232, nag-amend na siya ng BP 232. And of course, you have your RA 7784, this is for the Centers of Excellence. Okay, so again, for number 7, letter A is the correct answer. All right, now we go to number 8. Public school teachers must observe the dress code prescribed by the Civil Service Commission. This practice is in the line with the Code of Ethical Standards for Public Official and Employees under Republic Act number. Is it letter A 6713, letter B 6731, letter C 6741, or letter D 6751? What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 8? Number 8 na po tayo. What's the answer? Cultural lag, sabi ni Sir Kenichi Lorbes dito. Cultural lag, Pilipinas kasi. Oh, kakatakot pa, maraming maligno. Okay, minsan nakita ko yung city library, no, sa Iloilo. Nasa ilalim siya ng overpass. Okay, malapit siya doon sa Iloilo City National High School. Tapos malapit siya, nasa ilalim siya ng overpass, no? Yung mga nakakatakot na buildings, yung mga hindi na ginagamit na buildings, yun yung ginagawa nilang public libraries. Okay, now here, letter A, karamihang sagot sa ating team YouTube. Dito sa ating team Facebook, ganun din, letter A. And of course, this is the correct answer. Okay, so this is the Code of Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Ito din yung pinag-aaralan ng mga taong magtitake ng civil service, no? Civil service exam natin, no? CSE 6713, that is the correct answer. The Code of Conduct for Public Official and Employees, that is your RA 6713. Now, what about 6731? This is an act changing the name of the Vito Cruz Street in the districts of Malate and Singalong. City of Manila, and in the Municipality of Makati, Metro Manila, to Pablo de Leon Ocampo Street. Hindi ko alam kung kailan to change, no, yung Vito Cruz Street, but I think there is still a Vito Cruz station pa rin naman, no? So I'm not sure if this still holds true. So Pablo de Leon Ocampo Street, that's RA 6731. 6741 mo, this is an act declaring August 19 of each year a special working holiday to commemorate the birth anniversary of former President Manuel L. Quezon. Okay, so Quezon Day siya, no? Quezon Memorial Day. That's 6741. 6751, this is an act changing the name of the San Jose Barangay High School in Tacloban City to San Jose National High School. Okay, so that is RA 6751. Hello po sa mga taga-Tacloban. Kumaway na yung mga taga-Tacloban natin, ang mga kaguro. I'm pretty sure maraming taga-Tacloban dito. Okay, so again, the correct answer is 6713. That is letter A for number 8. Now we go to number 9. It is a decree which made the observance of the flag ceremony compulsory. Is it letter A, Republic Act number 467E, letter B, Batas Pambansa Bilang 232, letter C, Republic Act number 1459, or letter D, Republic Act number 1265. What's the answer? Oh, yan oh, sabi ni Ma'am Chufil, yung city library namin parang library namin nung elementary. Okay, we don't know what happened. Bakit ganyan yung mga public libraries natin, no? Tapos kalimitan walang libro. Wala pang ang ilaw minsan eh. Madilim. Wala naman kasi nakukulong sa korupsyon, no, sa ating bansa. Walang nakukulong sa korupsyon. Okay, karamihan sa inyo, yung sagot dito sa ating Team YouTube ay letter D. What about Team Facebook? Okay, letter D din ang sagot ng ating Team Facebook. And of course, that is the correct answer, okay? So that's RA 1265. This is the observance of the flag ceremony as compulsory, okay? So there are some schools na araw-araw may flag ceremony, no? Hindi ko lang alam kung hanggang ngayon meron. When I had a practice teaching before, yung school kung saan ako na-practice teach, araw-araw may flag ceremony. Meron din naman na every Monday lamang yung flag ceremony nila. Dito sa Amerika, sa aming school, walang flag ceremony. Wala pong flag ceremony. And very recently lamang, kinakanta yung aming school hymn. Okay? So, wala masyado. But they do the allegiance, no? Yung pledge to the allegiance of the flag, no? So, you say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Yung sinasabi din, if you want to become an immigrant here, no, dapat i-memorize mo siya. Yan yung ginagawa nila, yung parang panunumpa sa watawat nila. But most of them don't actually do that. And karamitan sa mga estudyante dito, ayaw pang tumayo if they are doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So ako nililista ko yung mga hindi tumatayo. Hey, what are you doing? Stand up. Pag hindi tumatayo, nililista ko, sinusumbong ko sa magulang. Okay? Because wala silang tawag dito, wala silang respeto, no? Wala silang hindi naman masyado marami, pero meron talagang ayaw na mag-pledge, no? Yung walang pakialam. And you actually, as a teacher, actually, I cannot force them. Hindi ko sila mapupwersa, no? Even my principals, my assistant principal, they're telling us you can't force them to do the allegiance. But of course, in my case, sa classroom na dapat nag-a-allegiance talaga, tinitingnan ko sinong hindi nakatayo. Ganyan na nga lang yung gagawin, no? Walang flag ceremony at the beginning of the day lang, merong allegiance to the flag, no? Nasa classroom lang. And of course, meron ding manning high na school hymn. Ayaw pang kumanta, no? So tinitingnan ko din sinong hindi kumakanta. Dapat kumakanta ng malakas, no? Dapat memorize nila yung kanilang school hymn. Sa atin, ang dami. Minsan, meron pang Ako ay Pilipino, meron pang hymn ng inyong ng inyong LGU, no? Meron pang hymn minsan ng inyong city, no? Ang daming eklabo sa Pinas. Dito, pag nag-program sila, napakasimple. Pag nag-start ng 8 o'clock, magsa-start ng 8 o'clock, matatapos ng mga 8:15, tapos na. Would you believe yung graduation dito? Ang bilis, wala pa sigurong isang oras, no? For example, mga 200 students graduate, wala pang isang oras, tapos na yung graduation. Sa atin, ilang oras, no? Siguro 5 hours, 4 hours. Okay, may mga pamarcha pa kasama yung mga parents, no? Ilang beses pa, marami pang magsi-speech. Dito wala masyadong speech. Okay? At kung graduation, yung principal yung nag-MC. Pag meron namang meron namang programa sa, for example, sa school district, yung district superintendent yung nag-MC. Okay? So, tapos makikita mo dito yung mga tawag dito, yung mga politiko nila, minsan nag-a-attend yung mga senador, no, ng aming mga district meeting, pero walang sumasalubong, walang corsage, yung senator, siya yung nagda-drive, siya yung bababa, walang pumapansin, no? Ganito dito, no? Sa atin sa Pinas, grabe, parang hari, parang reyna, no? Yung mga senador, mga principal, or whatever. Okay, so here, again, letter D is the correct answer kung saan na napunta yung ating discussion. Flag ceremony compulsory, RA 1265. 4670, of course, this is the Magna Carta for public school teachers. And of course, you have Batas Pambansa Bilang 232. This is the Education Act of 1982. 1459 mo naman, this is the corporation law. Okay, so lahat ng mga batas sa pagkakaroon ng isang korporasyon, no, is already under RA 1459. Okay, so again, the correct answer is letter D. Now, we go to number 10, an act abolishing the National College Entrance Examination, NCEE, repealing for the purpose of PD number 1467. Is this RA 7977, RA 7323, RA 7877, or RA 7731? What's the answer? Mga provinces, sabi ni Sir Kenichi dito, sobrang late, super late sa technology. Manila paper pa rin hanggang ngayon. Metaplaque pa rin, no? Yung tawag namin dati dyan, metaplaque pa rin. Oh, ayan, di ba? May Masbate City Himpa, sabi ni Ma'am Jennifer Banoy. Oo, ganyan, no? Ma'am Jem Kulanag. Nung elementary days after flag ceremony, paunahan pa makarating sa classroom. Tama po yan. Sobrang lamig din dito sa Cotabato, umiinom ng tea habang nagtitake notes sa lahat ng discussion. Sobrang salamat po, syukran. Okay, that's from Ma'am Malayha Agauto. Again, assalamualaikum po sa mga Muslim brothers and sisters natin. Dito, special treatment talaga. Sabi ni Ma'am Grace Katugas, no? Yung parang, yung iba kasi yung ating treatment ng public service. Yung public service natin, yung public servant natin, dapat na yung mga politiko, think of Vico Soto, no? Yun talaga dapat. Walang special treatment, walang treatment na parang hari, parang reyna, no? Sa atin kasi sa Pinas, iba. Parang hari at reyna yung mayor, yung kung sinong politicians natin. Okay, ayan, no? Sabi ni Ma'am Maylin Mongkal, meron pa man ang tagal dumating ng politician, hindi talaga mag-i-start yung graduation. Oo nga, no? Hindi makapag-start hanggang walang tawag dito, walang commencement speaker. Dito walang commencement speaker. Okay, wala, dire-diretso lang. Oh, super true, sabi ni Ma'am Tien, VIP. May pakain pa, no? Super true tong may pakain pa kahit magde-defend ka ng thesis mo, magpapa-cater ka pa, no? Ibang-iba sa Pinas. All right, the number 10, an act abolishing the National College Entrance Examination, repealing for the purpose of PD 1467, correct answer here would be letter D. Okay, 7731, that is the correct answer. 7977, we've already seen this as an act kanina, no? Nakita na natin to. RA 7323, an act to help poor but deserving students pursue their education by encouraging their employment during summer and or Christmas vacations. This is your SPES, no? So, yung summer program, no? Yung employment program for students. Yung 7877 naman, this is of course your Anti-Sexual Harassment Act in the employment, education, or training environment. Okay, so again, the correct answer here would be 7731. 7977 mo kanina, this was the act that lengthened the number of days from 200 to 220. Okay, so again, letter D is the correct answer. Number 11, this law was approved in August 2001 and known as an act instituting a framework of governance for basic education, establishing authority and accountability, renaming the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports as the Department of Education. Is this letter A, RA 9155, letter B, RA 8047, letter C, RA 854, or letter D, RA 7104. Ligwak, sabi ni Ma'am Charlene Kalinawan. Okay lang po yan, ma'am, hindi pa naman let. Oh, na-late si Ma'am Bay Rawia Manua. Kakagising lang, sarap ng tulog ni Mama. Salam, good evening ma'am. Watching from Mindanao, Buluan, Maguindanao. First time manood ng live. Hello po, Ma'am Johaira Esmail Otto the second. The second ba? Or Il? Maraming salamat po. Welcome sa team Facebook. Mimaro Pahim. Sample nga. Sir RD. Sir RD Canulo. Okay, so sa atin, lahat ng himno, pagkatapos ng lupang hinirang, may Ako ay Filipino, may Panunumpa sa Watawat, no? May hymn ng probinsya, may hymn ng city, may hymn ng bansa, no? So sa atin, napakahaba ng mga programa. Kahit yung programa lamang sa fiesta, no? Yung crowning yung coronation ng fiesta queen nyo, ang haba, sobra, no? Nagagalit na yung mga pumupunta sa baile. May baile din ba sa inyo? Sa amin may baile, no? Yung mga pumupunta sa baile by around siguro mga 12, 11:30 sinastop dahil magpo-program pa, coronation pa ng Fiesta Queen. Okay? All right, now a lot of you are answering letter A. Good evening, ma'am. No, Sir Arman Garcia, watching from Nueva Ecija. Good evening po. Okay, a lot of you are answering letter A, and of course, that is the correct answer. Okay, so 9155. 9155, that is the correct answer here. This is the Basic Education Act. Now, letter B mo, RA 8047, this is the Book Publishing Industry Development Act. Okay, so publishing of books, that was under RA 8047. Now, RA 854, this is an act granting the Delgado Ice and Electric Plant a franchise for an electric light, heat, and power system in the municipality of Catarman, province of Samar. Okay, so Samar ito, no, parang isang electrical plant. And 7104, this is a Commission on the Filipino Language Act. Okay, so that's 7104. Of course, correct answer 9155. This is the act that renamed your DEX into DepEd. Okay, so DEX into DepEd. And of course, it has also created the triumvirate, no, yung tatlong ahensya sa ating education, DepEd for basic education. Then of course, you have CHED for higher education. You also have TESDA for TechVol. Okay, so that's still under 9155. Now, number 12, this law prescribed the inclusion in the curricula of all schools, both public and private, from elementary schools to the universities, the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal, especially the Noli Tangere and El Filibusterismo. Is this letter A, RA 1256 as amended by RA 8491, letter B, RA 1124 as repealed by RA 7722. Letter C, RA 6728 as amended by RA 8545 or RA 1425. What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Wala nang baile. Unang panahon lang po ang baile, Ma'am Mek. So wala ng baile ngayon kahit yung kung kunwari walang ECQ, walang GCQ 'pag fiesta sa inyo 'no, wala na bang walang baile? 'Di ba meron naman tayong mga basketball court sa kada barangay 'no? Wala ng baile? Mhm. Good evening, watching from Davao del Norte, Ma'am Gemly Campo. Good evening po. Ma'am Shar Antilino, thank you for the watch party. Ma'am Rowena Cabriana Rosaldo, thank you for sharing our video. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 12? Ayan meron pang baile sa amin. Sabi ni Ma'am Phil, may SK night pa. Oo nga, meron pa. Saot-saot. Saot-saot meron pa po, sabi ni Sir Kenechi Lorbes. Sa Capiz meron pa. Ano po yung baile? Baile sayawan, yung disco, yung sa basketball court nyo pag fiesta, merong sound system, tapos may baile, tapos may mag-aaway, no, may magsusuntukan. Oo, meron pa daw sa kay Sir Jeremy Malto, meron pa sa province. O sa Iloilo meron pa rin, sabi ni Sir JB Benjamin, meron pa rin. Tapos meron din mga paliga, no? Yan yung mga nilulook forward natin pagpapunta ng summer. Ang daming fiesta. Okay, so number 12, the correct answer here would be RA 1425. Okay, so RA 1425 po is the correct answer. Your letter A here, this is the flag and heraldic code of the Philippines. So lahat ng mga national symbols natin is under this RA, no? Yung letter B mo, of course, 7722, that would be your CHED law. Okay, yung letter C, that would be for GASPE, Government Assistance for Students and Teachers in Private Education. No? Pag GASPE to. If you are teaching in a private school, for example, tapos let passer ka, meron kayong certain amount na makukuha from the government and i-divide nyo yun as licensed professional teachers. Dahil kasi your private institutions are also helping na ma-decongest yung ating mga public schools. Kasi hindi din po pwedeng walang private schools. Marami nang sessions no sa isang public school, especially sa NCR. So this is also the help that the government is extending to our private institutions. All right, number 13. According to Cooley, the ability of children to visualize themselves through the eyes of others and imagine how they appear to others is called letter A, personality, letter B, looking glass self, letter C, presentation of self, letter D, superego. What's the answer? Meron pa, may mga baile pa Ito sa Facebook, no? Marami pa daw yung nagbabaile. Discoral po noon. Ano yung discoral? Disco. Okay, so disco, sabi ni Ma'am Charlene Kalinawan. Meron sa amin sa sitio. Yes, sa basketball dito sa sitio, Sambag, Dos, ng Liloan, Cebu City. That's from Ma'am Angel Ampo. Maayong gabi. Disco na po, Ma'am Mek. Di na po baile. Okay. So, pinalitan na yung name, no? Disco na. Disco na. Hindi na baile. Meron sa Negros Occidental, sabi ni Ma'am Elmi Aliera Roa. Mayroon sa Pangasinan, sabi ni Ma'am Marie Crista Mundong. May baile sa Capiz, sabi ni Sir Romeo Diestro. Disco lang. Iba lang yung tawag. Sabi ni Ma'am Len Cruz, suntukan dahil sa girl. Alam na alam, Ma'am Len na. Based on experience po ba ito? Meron daw sa Negros. May naay baile pa dito. Sabi ni Sir Nepomuceno Yongko Sugilon. 2 days po yung baile sa amin. Pagbesperas ng fiesta para sa kabataan. And second day for married couples naman. Sabi ni Ma'am Lizelle Tanyo. Real talk talaga may mag-aaway. Nung nagka-pandemic, wala nang fiesta, Ma'am Mary Jane Ocon. Ang bongga naman ni Ma'am Kimberly Cordova. Yes, ma'am, nakaupo pa ako niyan. Then, magbabayad pa yung boys ng 2 pesos para makasayaw, para masayaw ka. Yan yung mga nakakamiss na parte ng ating kultura, no? Galing kasi sa Spanish yung mga kulturang ganito. Sa Antique, sabi ni Ma'am Annie Batiao, meron pang baile. May baile sa Pangasinan, sabi ni Sir Sonny Bukirin. May 2 orchestra or combo. Nagpapasiklaban. Minsan may ano din, no, may contest ng mga sounds. Meron ding mga ganyan. Choral is may bakod po. Diskoral. Diskohan na may koral. May kawayan or pukot. Kakaiba. Ganun ba? Ito sabi ni Ma'am Charlene Kalinawan, yung difference daw between baile and disco. Yung baile kasi, Ma'am Mek, naghahawakan. Yung disco, kanya-kanyang galawan na. Tapos nagsusuntukan, no? Kasi minsan natatabig mo, minsan may lasing na. Okay, now going back to the question that we have here, according to Cooley, the ability of children to visualize themselves through the eyes of others and imagine how they appear to others is called, this of course is letter B. Letter B, tama po kayo. That would be your looking glass self. Okay, so this is letter B. And that's the correct answer for number 13. So this is your looking glass self. This is a concept by Charles Horton Cooley. And according to him, the image that we form of ourselves is not who we actually are. Kumbaga hindi accurate yung image mo, no? Yung pagpo-form mo ng image ng self mo, yung self-image mo is actually based on what you think other people think of you. Okay? So not who we actually are, not even what people think about us, but it is based on our perception of how others view us, how we think they view us. Our self-concept is then derived from these ideas. It begins at an early age and continues throughout life. Okay, so this is a very sad, no? Very sad theory dahil sabi ni Cooley, yung image mo, your concept of yourself is not really who you are, but it is based on other people, no? Nakabase siya sa other people, sa ibang tao, at hindi nga base sa kung ano yung pagtingin sa iyo, anong tingin sa iyo ng ibang tao, pero base pa sa iniisip mong tingin sa iyo ng ibang tao, no? Napakalalim din ng kanyang teorya. Okay, so here is another illustration. We imagine how we appear to other people. We imagine how other people judge the appearance that we think we present. If we think the evaluation is favorable, our self-concept is enhanced. Okay, you gain your confidence. No, if you think na I think I appear handsome or I appear beautiful to this person, okay, or to these people, to my classmates, for example, and so your self-concept, your self-image is enhanced. No, you develop your self-confidence. If we think the evaluation is unfavorable, our self-concept is diminished. Okay, so napakahalaga po. Of course, you should have your integrity as a person. That means hindi lamang integrity as in value, but you should know yourself. No, hindi ka dapat nagbabase sa kung anong feeling mo feeling ng ibang tao about sa'yo, no? That is a very, very sad story, no? Kung yung self-image mo is based lang sa perceptions ng ibang tao, no? So you have to also develop your self-image. You have to make sure that your self-image, self-concept is based on your belief as a person, on your belief of who you are, your capacities, your skills, your talent, no? I-boost mo dapat yung sarili mo. Hindi naman po pwedeng yung iyong confidence, yung inyong self-concept is base lamang sa ibang tao. Meron naman kasing ibang tao na may inferiority, yung mahina yung self-confidence, no? Wala masyadong believe sa sarili. They would always be thinking about other people's perception of them, no? So usually ito yung mga taong nabibiktima pag merong manluloko, ito yung mga pa-victim, no? Yung mga mahihina yung self-concept, mahihina yung self-confidence. Ito yung mga palagiang nabibiktima. Okay, so again, this is Looking Glass Self by Cooley. Okay, so again, letter B ang tamang sagot natin. Okay, now we go to number 14. The family where one is born, reared, and socialized is letter A, family of orientation, letter B, family of procreation, letter C, nuclear family, or letter D, egalitarian family. What's the answer? Sabi ni Ma'am Aiza Hines, parang nakarelate ako, Ma'am Mek, kaya nga careful ako sa mga ginagawa ko dahil ayaw ko may masabing hindi maganda sa akin. Okay? Meron talagang mga ganyang tao, Ma'am Aiza, no, na ayaw mong may masabing hindi maganda yung ibang tao sa'yo, no? Yung concept mo ng sarili mo ay based sa kung anong tingin sa'yo ng ibang tao. Okay? Kaya ipapasok ko na rin, palagi kong sinasabi, na napaka-importante ng role natin as parents and as teachers. No? So dapat nabuboost talaga natin yung confidence ng isang bata, especially if as teachers you are teaching very young kids. Sabi ni Ma'am Kimberly Cordova dito, this is about baile pa rin. Yes, Ma'am Mek, sikat ka pag dayo ka. Ikaw yung unang masayaw. Worst experience, Ma'am Mek, yung married pa yung boy, kapitbahay pa ng lola ko yung wife. Aba, may mga ganong drama, Ma'am. Sir Ali, message ka po sa mismong Gurong Pinoy page. Ano nangyari kay Sir Ali? Okay. Hello, welcome po Sir Ali sa Team YouTube. Hello ma'am, marami akong natutunan sa channel. I'm new. Welcome Sir Ali Dimasangkay sa Team YouTube. Aba, sino to si Kapitan Barbosa ba to? Si Cap Emerson ba to? Dalawa lang po alam kong nasayaw, sweet at very sweet. Okay, 14. What's your answer? What do you think is the correct answer for number 14? Iba-iba yung sagot ng ating team Facebook, may A, B, C, D. Dito sa ating team YouTube, karamihan letter B. Okay, letter B. The correct answer here is letter A. Letter A po yung tamang sagot dito. No? The family where one is born, reared, and socialized is the family of orientation. Hindi po family of procreation. Yung family of procreation nyo, ito yung na-form mong family with your husband or with your wife. Pero kung saan ka sinilang, kung saan ka nag-socialize, kung anong pamilya yung nag-develop sa'yo na as a person, that is your family of orientation. Nuclear family, of course, we know this. When you say nuclear family, that's only the parents and the kids. No? So, mother, father, brother, sister, no? Yan lamang yung ating nuclear family. Ang extended family mo naman, we all know that this is the type of family that we have in the Philippines, no? So lahat nandyan sa isang bahay. Hindi lamang yung nanay, tatay, hindi lamang yung mga anak, merong tsuhin, merong tita, merong cousins, no? And of course, lahat ng pets andyan din. Egalitarian family, ito naman when you say egalitarian, there's equality. That means lahat ng responsibility or lahat ng yung respetong binibigay mo sa tatay mo dapat equal din sa binibigay mo sa nanay mo. Okay? So there's equality in that family. Okay, so again, family of orientation is where one is born, and family of procreation is the family that you form with your wife or with your husband. So example, si Richard Gutierrez, this is his family of procreation. Not procreation, family of orientation niya ito, no? So again, family of orientation is where one was born, one was reared. Okay, so here, nandyan yung nanay niya, nandyan yung mga kapatid niya, no? So that's your family of orientation. Ang family of procreation mo naman, yung family of procreation niya, ay ito. Okay, so yung pinakapamilya na niya, ang pamilyang nabuo niya kasama ng asawa niya, okay, that would be your family of procreation. Okay, so maaaring yung iba sa atin ay wala pang family of procreation, no? Meron pa lamang kayong family of orientation. Okay, wala pa kayong pamilya, wala pa kayong sarili nyong asawa. Okay, so again, correct answer, family of orientation. We go to 15. Number 15, what level of technology integration happens when the teacher directs students in the conventional and procedural use of technology tools? Is this letter A, active, letter B, entry, letter C, adoption, or letter D, adaptation? What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for the question that we have here? Number 15 na po tayo. Aba, naka-bedrest si Cap. Bakit po, Cap? Pagod, Cap? Sabi ni Ma'am Karen Cortaga. Okay, what do you think is the answer for number 15? Ma'am Hanifa Rasul, maraming salamat po for the watch party and being a top fan. Karamihan sa inyo, letter C ang sagot. Ala, na-injured si Cap. Nag-basketball yata. Okay, letter C, karamihang sagot dito. Okay, so sabi sa ating question, what level of technology integration happens when the teacher directs students in the conventional procedural use of technology tools? Is it letter A, active, letter B, entry, letter C, adoption, or letter D, adaptation? Of course, you cannot choose letter A, active here because this is a learning environment, no? So hindi siya level of technology integration. Entry is when you try, the first time that you try to integrate technology in your curriculum. That's entry, no? The correct answer here would be letter C, adoption. Okay, so adoption na to. That is letter C, not adaptation. If you are looking at your TIM, your technology integration matrix, you see adoption here. The teacher directs students in the conventional use of tool-based software. If such software is available, this level is recommended. Kaya adoption po yung ating tamang sagot. This is going to be our topic for the supporters only exclusive meeting, no? 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, that's Philippine time. This coming Saturday, ito po yung ating magiging topic, no? So, technology integration matrix, this will be our topic on during our meeting on Saturday. Okay, so again, adoption is the correct answer. Now we go to number 16. A teacher who subscribes to the pragmatic philosophy of education believes that experienced study should follow learning in her teaching. Which of the following does she do to support her belief? Letter A, encouraging learners to memorize factual knowledge. Letter B, equipping learners with the basic abilities and skills. Letter C, providing learners opportunities to apply theories and principles. Letter D, requiring learners full mastery of the lesson. Okay, what is the answer for number 16? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Okay, so a lot of you here are answering letter C. Ganun din sa ating team Facebook. Okay, so letter C, karamihang sagot. And of course, letter C is the correct answer here. Okay, this is pragmatism. Remember, pragmatism, this theory states, or this school of thought states that you should only teach what is practical. Okay, so whatever you teach the students should be able to apply that in their real life. Okay, so here, providing learners opportunities to apply theories and principles. Kaya ito po ang ating sagot, letter C. Okay, we go to number 17. Teacher Myra says, if it is billiard that brings students out of the classroom, let us bring it into the classroom. Perhaps I can use it to teach math. To which philosophy does teacher Myra adhere? Is it letter A, essentialism, letter B, idealism, letter C, progressivism, or letter D, reconstructionism? Which one do you think is the correct answer for number 17? May pagtaya pa sa kapitbahay, Sir Jeremy Malto, sure na yan. Itataya ko pa kapitbahay namin. Okay, 17. Sabi ni Sir Nap Lumugdang, letter C ang sagot. Sir Nap, nasaan ka nga po, Sir Nap? Nasa Bahrain ba? UAE yata si Sir Nap. Okay, so letter C, progressivism. Dito sa ating team Facebook, ganun din. Letter C, progressivism. And of course, letter C yung tamang sagot natin dito. Okay, so letter C, that is progressivism. Progressivism kasi yung mga modern methods na, no, of teaching. Okay, so this is going outside, no, yung non-traditional methods na of teaching, that would be your progressivism. Essentialism, of course, this is the traditional method of educating kids, no? So the teacher is still the only source of knowledge, memorization, lectures, learning the basics, no? Back to the basics, learning the 3 R's. That's essentialism. Idealism, of course, idea is a true source of knowledge. That for them is their belief. Okay, so idealism, they also believe in perfection. They also believe in values. And of course, you have social reconstructionism. You teach the kids so that they can change the society into something that's better. Okay, so the social reconstructionism. Again, we have a video on YouTube which is titled The Isms of Education. So, balikan niyo po yan. Lahat po ng isms ay nandun sa ating video na yan. All right, number 18, Scouting and Citizens Army Training, or CAT, give training in character building, citizenship training, etc. This leads to the creation of a new social order. Okay? A new society eventually. What philosophy supports this? Is it letter A, existentialism, letter B, perennialism, letter C, progressivism, or letter D, social reconstructivism? Sir Nap, nasa Iloilo ka ba? Akala ko dati, Sir Nap, nasa abroad ka. Nasa Iloilo na pala si Sir Nap. Is that Ateneo? Nasa Ateneo yata tong picture mo, sir. Aba, may pagtaya sa GF naman itong si Sir Kinechi Lorbes. Itataya ko GF ko. D. Sure. Final na to. 18D. Sabi ni Ma'am Jessie Sai or Sir Jessie Sai. Okay, a lot of you are answering letter D. Okay, yes, Ateneo nga. Okay, letter D. Letter D, karamihang sagot. And of course, that is the correct answer. No, I've just discussed this. So again, when you say letter D, social reconstructivism, you are teaching your kids, your students, certain things so that, of course, they can change the society into something that's better. Okay, so that's social reconstructivism. Your CAT is part of that. Okay, that existentialism, again, when you say existentialism, you believe that students should have the freedoms, students should have their choice, okay, to choose whatever it is that they can be, but of course they need to take responsibility of their choices. Perennialism, of course, they believe that everything is unchanging, no? Everything is forever. It is only change that's never changing, no? So that's perennialism. Sabi ng perennialism, whatever was important a long time ago is still important until now. So perennial, that's forever. Okay, and progressivism, of course, we've talked about this. These are the modern methods of teaching our kids, teaching the students. So again, here, letter D is the correct answer. Okay, no, number 19. Which among the following launched the ODDM model in the early 1970s, which paved the way for outcome-based education? Bill Spady, Bob Marzano, letter C, John Champlain, or letter D, John Watson? What's the answer for 18? Yun. Sabi ni Sir Nap, nag-visit po ako sa Ateneo last time. May meeting lang po kay Father Wims. Okay. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 19? Number 19, is this Bill Spady? Is this letter B, Bob Marzano? Letter C, John Champlain? Or letter D, John Watson? Okay, so iba-iba yung ating sagot. May A, C, D dito sa ating team YouTube. May B din. Dito sa ating team Facebook, karamihan letter C ang sagot. Okay, correct answer here, of course, would be letter C. That's John Champlain. Now, I have this video on YouTube, no? Puntahan nyo po sa YouTube, itong outcome-based education, and we have the different models there. I've compared OBE with traditional education. This can, I think, also be found in our Facebook page. Nasa Facebook page din po yata. Hanapin nyo po sa ating videos. And so the correct answer here is letter C. That's John Champlain. I will not be discussing all this para panoorin niyo po yung video, okay? Because the video has discussed everything, also discussed all these other people, except, of course, John Watson. We know him to be the father of behaviorism, okay? So here, again, letter C, John Champlain is the correct answer. Now we go to number 20. Which is true about outcome-based education? This is still based on that video. Okay, so video pa rin na yun. Letter A, student achievement is gauged according to her grade levels average. Letter B, student competence is based on set criteria. Letter C, student may be failed if he is not at par with his peers. Or letter D, student achievement is based on his class standing. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer for number 20? This is the last item for tonight. Di ko alam, sabi ni Sir Kinechi Lorbes. Hula hoop talaga sa daming tao nasa utak, overload na. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer here? Again, please do make sure that you watch our video on OBE, no? Yung outcome-based education. What's the difference between OBE and traditional education? What are the different OBE models? Okay, and of course, this is already the last question that we have for tonight. And for our teams, after this, your slide is going to be posted on your teams. That's for Team Gardner and Team Erickson. Of course, I'd also be posting your ProfEd. Okay, yung ProfEd nyo na qualifying exam. Okay, now as you can see here, the question states, which is true about outcome-based education? Now, letter A says, student achievement is gauged according to her grade levels average. So this means this is norm reference, no? Norm reference ito, no? You are trying to gauge the achievement of the student according to the level of the grade levels average. Letter B, student competence is based on set criteria. So that means this is criterion reference. Okay, based on set criteria. Letter C mo, student may be failed if he is not at par with his peers. This is still norm reference. You are trying to compare the performance of one student with that of the other students or with that of the group. Letter D, student achievement is based on his class standing. So again, class standing, this is still norm reference. And we know that the correct answer is letter B. Outcome-based education is not norm reference. You're not comparing the achievement of one student with that of the entire group, with that of his classmates, but you are trying to evaluate his skills, his knowledge based on set criteria. Okay, so it's actually criterion reference. And so letter B is the correct answer here. Okay, so letter B po, ang tamang sagot dito. That ends tonight's discussion. Okay, so again, please make sure that you send a message to Gurong Pinoy, our Facebook page, if you'd want to be part of our groups, no, sa ating teams. Please do make sure that you send the message to our Facebook page. And of course, we'll see each other on Saturday. Okay, so Saturday, una muna, no, against 7 a.m. on Saturday next week. Your link for your quizzes is going to be posted. We are going to have Gen Ed on Saturday. And of course, we'll have ProfEd on Sunday. Then, of course, by 5:30 p.m., my students, my supporters, we are going to meet now. That's 5:30 p.m. PH time. That's February 27. We are going to be talking about your ICT integration in the curriculum. And, of course, by 7:30 p.m., we are going to have our live discussion for Gen Ed. And, of course, for Sunday, we are still going to have our live discussion for ProfEd. We are still going to have your quizzes link. And, of course, ang ating majorship ay tuloy-tuloy po lamang. Okay? So that ends tonight's discussion. And of course, we end with our closing prayer. This has still been prepared for us by Brother Efren Esteban. Maraming salamat, Brother Efren. Please join me in our closing prayer.
Muli po tayong manalangin, mga kaguro. Lord, salamat sa patnubay niyo po sa bawat isa sa amin. May mga bago po kaming mga natutunan sa oras na ito. Salamat po sa Gurong Pinoy International sa kanilang suporta na ibinibigay sa amin. Malaking bagay po ito para po sa aming paghahanda. Panginoon, sana po lahat kami na narito ay makapasa sa aming LET exam ngayong taon. Sana po maging maayos ng panahon. Ito po ang aming mga kahilingan sa pangalan ni Jesus na aming Diyos at manunubos. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so sa muli, maraming salamat, Brother Efren, for always preparing our closing, opening prayers during our live stream. Okay, ingat po kayo dyan lahat sa Pilipinas. And of course, stay safe, stay warm, stay COVID-free. I'm going to see you again next weekend. Sa muli, ito po si Coach Mac, ninyong Gurong Pinoy. And I leave you with the saying, maliit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat po. Good night, Philippines. Take care. Bye.